agents are no longer just glorified chatbots. They're becoming the operational core of next-gen customer service. In this exclusive CX Today interview, we speak with Cognigy to go beyond the buzz and explore how AI agents are quietly and powerfully transforming service at scale. This conversation unpacks the real, high-value use cases that are changing the game. I'm Susie Harrison, Head of Content here at CX Today, and I'm speaking with VP of Marketing at Cognigy, Alan Ranger. So welcome, Alan. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you, Susie. Always a pleasure.
So let's move past the hype here. What are some less obvious high-value ways that AI agents are transforming customer service at scale beyond handling simple chats?
Yes, so as you say, there's an awful lot of AI agents that are out there, either acting as a co-pilot, just answering questions for the human advisors in the background, or some fairly sort of basic FAQ sort of AI agents. And they are getting much better. You know, with agentic AI, you can ground them on a knowledge base, and they're doing that. But that's not really where all of the value is. So it is really way beyond that. You've got companies that have completely replaced their IVR with AI agents. So it's not just a single AI agent sitting behind the IVR. So we have one, it's a very large insurance company, and every single one of their calls, their voice calls, are now answered by an AI agent. And it understands absolutely everything that's going on. It can understand the intent of the caller. It can do all of the identification and the verification. And then even go off in the background to go and very quietly go and get all of the information needed to resolve that intent. And then it gives a really warm handover to the human agent. So no longer is the human advisor sitting there, suddenly a voice appears in their ear and the screen pops. They're actually able to see, why the person's calling, the fact they've been verified, and in fact, probably some of the answers that they need to resolve their intent. So yeah, as you say, it's all that stuff in the background that it's doing rather than just answering questions. We've even got one company, it's in the US, it's a fashion retailer, and they're using their AI agent for all of the warranty returns. So an example might be that they would have a jacket that had a broken zip, and the AI agent is using image recognition to work out whether or not that broken zip was caused by somebody's forced it or whether actually it was a faulty product. If it can't work out what it was, it then can actually send a Teams message to one of its human colleagues and say, hey, I can't work out whether this is warranty or whether it's damage. Can you tell me? And the human colleague in the Teams message just messages back, yeah, that's warranty, off you go. So it's no longer a case of having to put the caller on hold or the person doing the returns on hold. It can actually go off and has the agency on its own to go and talk to a human to get advice. And then there's all sorts of examples where quite complicated processes are happening in the background. As I said, it's relatively easy these days to make a really good conversational AI agent, but to do something like rebook a flight in the background is quite tricky. So, companies like Lufthansa, their AI agents are making, in fact, outbound SMSs to customers. So before they even know the flight's been cancelled, they're notified, and then it very in the background is able to rebook, as many flights as needed, as the things go.
That's very cool. So how are AI agents enhancing the human workforce instead of replacing it? And where are you seeing AI create more value by working alongside agents?
Yes, I think value is exactly the key word here. So what we're seeing is that the human advisors are no longer working on task-based activities, they're working on value-based activities. In fact, a recent event, we did CCW in London and we sponsored the Agent of the Future programme, and we got some up-and-coming agents in for a day and then sponsored them to attend the main conference. 3 of them very bravely sat on the panel with me on the main stage, and one of them said, I am so excited about AI. It's taking away all of the boring tasks and it's letting me become the voice of the brand. And so what we're seeing is that no longer are people doing things they don't need to do, like resetting passwords, looking up flight details. They're actually able to concentrate on having a fantastic conversation and resolving whatever question the caller has, and just acting as a true advisor and a true sort of ambassador of the brand. So it's certainly enhancing it there. And as I said earlier, when you've got the AI doing a lot of the background stuff, the human agent no longer has to put their customer on hold while they try and find out what they need from the background. The AI has done it for them. So again, they're making it much more streamlined, because obviously when you put somebody on hold, they get a bit frustrated. So it's making a much more natural conversation and providing the advisor with everything they need just at the right time.
Yeah, it's really enhancing the agent's role, isn't it? By
Yes.
Sort of elevating it to a more nuanced human interaction where that's required.
Yeah.
Can you share an example of invisible brilliance and walk us through the real world example of an AI agent improving an outcome behind the scenes?
Well, I think definitely with the concierge and sort of co-pilot side of things. So where it is sort of working in the background, it's not obvious to the consumer that this is happening. They're just super impressed that the human advisor that they're talking to has everything they need at their fingertips. They're no longer saying, well, I must transfer you to somebody else because I don't understand or have not been trained on this particular thing. They're not saying, I must put you on hold while I look this up. And they're able to actually say, actually, you know what, I've just resolved your issue. And it's all being done in the background with the AI agent. And that really is the key thing. It's that level of orchestration where you're connected the AI agent to all of the back-end systems. So everything from the CRM to the insurance database to the flight booking to the returns policies, all that sort of things. And it just provides a seamless experience for the consumer. So it really has gone a long way from just being a cost-saving exercise to try and stop consumers talking to human advisors to actually be able to provide this fantastic value-based customer experience.
And what shifts do you think are needed to unlock these advanced AI agent use cases? Do you think it's technology, mindset, structure, or all of the above?
I think it's a bit of all of the above. So it's, first of all, there's the expectations. We've discussed this many times on our calls that we've had. The expectations of the sort of the management of the company, the expectations of the consumers don't necessarily match what's going on with the current level of capability with most organizations. So everybody thinks just because they can have a conversation with ChatGPT, they should be able to speak to an automated advisor in exactly the same way. But of course, if it's not connected in the back end and you haven't got that level of orchestration, it just isn't going to work. So everybody has to stop sort of thinking about things in silos. And I think we'll even get to the point where the whole of the enterprise becomes the contact center. So any part that provides any sort of activity that a customer would need contact with, they actually would be able to directly support them. So, if it's a financial inquiry, the AI agents that work in the finance department would be able to actually provide the answers to the customer, rather than somebody sitting in the contact center having to then log onto the finance system to look at the invoices, all that side of things. So yeah, I think we're going to see a completely different approach to customer experience. I think it's going to go across the whole company and really affect the whole brand. So yeah, it's, from a technical perspective, we need to break down the silos. The good thing is most of the big systems are now pretty easy to integrate with the orchestration layer. So certainly all the big things like the CRM, but also a mindset shift as well. It has to be that not all customer contact will be just through the contact center. It could be right the way across the whole enterprise.
So I know you've mentioned one there of where you think we're moving with this, but looking forward, how do you see the role of AI agents evolving in CX over the next sort of 1-2 years?
Oh, well, if you think about what's happened in the last 2 years, I mean, 2.5 years ago, we weren't even really talking about ChatGPT. So I think what we'll see pretty quickly is a move from the contact center to being from a cost center to being actually a profit center. So what I mean by that is that, at the moment, most of the activities that are automated in the contact center are inbound customer service. And you were able to automate it because you could work out pretty much why people were calling and what their intents were, and you could build the AI agents to resolve it. With agentic AI, with the capabilities that it has, with its understanding, its ability to reason, its ability to use tools to resolve problems, you can actually start doing outbound work. So we have one customer, it's one of the largest European banks. They're now making outbound calls using an AI agent. And what it is, it's this particular product is personal loans. So you fill in a form on the website, you tick the box, please give me a call to complete my loan. And then the next day, you'll probably get a call from a fairly well-paid financial advisor. And these financial advisors, they would be making all of these calls. They would have the list of people that had registered on the website the day before. And they were only getting a 15% pickup. So most of the people that they were calling just didn't answer, or it was the wrong time. So we built them a pretty simple outbound agentic AI agent, and it makes the outbound call for them. And it's hyper-personalized. It immediately says, I am the name of AI agent from the name of bank. And so, you've filled in this form. We need 10 minutes with one of our advisors. Is now a good time? And if they say no, it'll do the rescheduling and it'll keep calling back in a really engaging and non-intrusive way. And then when the prospective customer is ready, it does the warm handover to the financial advisor. And 80% of all of the people that then are handed over to the advisors are actually moving ahead and taking the loans. So this is a huge result. So we can see this across all industries now. I think there'll be a lot more sort of outbound activity, probably automated end-to-end with the the AI agent handling the whole side of things. I think that we'll also see things of, that it will improve the customer experience across the whole enterprise. So as I said, we were talking about, what needs to change. I think we really truly will see that everybody within the enterprise is there, or every department of the enterprise is responsible for delivering a fantastic customer experience. And then the last layer, of course, will be the level of orchestration. I don't think there will be a single customer service use case that couldn't be automated with AI agents.
Well, I mean, there's definitely lots to look forward to here, isn't there? And it's obviously, as you said, moving at a huge pace. Well, thank you, Alan, so much for joining me today. It's been great chatting again. And thank you to our viewers for watching. And please do like and subscribe to this channel to stay tuned on these kinds of issues. So thanks, Alan.
Thank you, and thanks for having me.